Now let's see the various tests which are conducted to find out the coefficient of permeability. So first we will see the lab test. So in lab there are two tests which are conducted. First is the constant head test and second is the variable head test. So constant head test is conducted for the soils which are pervious such as gravels and coarse sands. And variable head test is conducted for the soils which are for which the coefficient of permeability is very low, and so such as silts and fine sands. For these the variable head test is conducted. So a basic criteria to be fulfilled for for these both tests is that the soil sample should be saturated. So it cannot be conducted for a partially saturated soil, and the soil sample should be fully saturated for these tests. So this becomes a limitation also, because in the field the soil may not be fully saturated everywhere. So the K value in the field will vary. It will not be same as the value which we find in the lab. So this is the limitation of this test. So first let's see the constant head test. So constant head test, it is called constant head test because a constant head is maintained over the soil sample. So we put a soil sample in a tube and we insert the piezometer at two different points, and the different length of sample between these 2 points is L and the head difference is H. So this difference will be constant, because if we are keeping a constant head on the top of it, so it will, after some time, it will attain a constant value. I mean that the level of water in this piezometer will attain a particular value and level of water in the other piezometer will attain a particular value. So difference of that value will be constant. So from here we know that the Darcy's law, using Darcy's law, discharge is equal to KIA. So if discharge is constant, hydraulic gradient is constant, and area of cross section is given, so we can find out the coefficient of permeability by Q upon IA. So here discharge is measured by using a measuring tank. So if we can find out the volume and the time taken to fill that volume, so from that we can find out the discharge. So this is how we calculate the discharge, and I is the hydraulic gradient, so it is the difference in head and divided by the length of flow. So here length of flow will be the length between the 2 points where piezometers are inserted. So it is not necessarily be the total length of the sample. So in this case length of soil sample is this much, let's say L dash, but the length of flow between the two piezometers is small l. So we have to take care of this point, because we should take the length of flow between the two piezometers, not the length of the soil sample. So from here permeability can be given as Q upon, this is H by L into area, and this Q we can write if Q is the volume of flow in time t. So this can be written as AHT, where Q is equal to Q by T, and where Q I am saying as a volume of water in time t. So from that we can find this value, and so from here permeability can be calculated. Now let's see the variable head or falling head test, as it is called. So it is suitable for fine sands and silt, for which the permeability is very low. So in this case a soil sample, usually it is taken the soil sample which is taken from the field, it is directly, so this will be the sample and we will not remove it from the sampling tube, and we will just put the piezometer or standpipe in this, and a constant head is maintained below this soil sample. So in this case, constant level of water will be maintained below the soil sample. So water, when some water is inserted from here, so after some time that water level will keep on, gradually it will go down, and from there we will find out the value of coefficient of permeability. So let's see how it is done. So for finding out the value of coefficient of permeability, we need two sets of reading, that is at time t1, let's say the head is h1, and at time t2 head is h2. So this will consist of a pair of reading, and such readings will give us the value of coefficient of permeability. So from the Darcy's law again, Q is equal to K I A, and if I say for a particular height h, and in this case the length will be taken as the length of sample, because the flow is this pipe is inserted from the top, so flow will be carried through the whole sample, and we are measuring the difference between this lower level and this upper level. So we are measuring the two ends of the soil sample, so this length will be the length of the soil sample. So here we can write it as K into I, we can write as H by L into area of cross section of the soil sample. And one more way by which we can write Q, let's say that in for a small drop in head, so let's say dh is the small drop in head, so for dh drop it takes dt time, so dh by dt will be the velocity of fall, because dh is the length and length by time is the velocity. So discharge we know is the area times velocity. So from here we can write as Q is equal to area, small a is the area of standpipe, and minus dh by dt. So why am I putting this minus? Because as the time is increasing, the value of head is decreasing. So at time t1 the head is h1, and at time t2 head is h2, which is less than h1. So this will give us a negative value of head. So from here Q is equal to minus a dh by dt, and if we equate this equation and this equation, so from here we will get minus a dh by dt is equal to k h by L into a. So from here dh upon h will be equal to k a upon small a times L, this minus, into dt. Now if we integrate the both sides, so minus dh upon h equal to ka upon a L dt. So limit of integration will be h1 to h2, and here it will be t1 to t2, and so from here it will be equal to minus log h2 by h1, here it is ka times al t2 minus t1, and if we rearrange this, so we will get k is equal to al upon a t, so t is equal to t2 minus t1. t is the time of fall, time for which the head falls from h1 to h2, so it takes the time t, and al by at log e h1 upon h2. So this is the value of coefficient of permeability, and if we want to write out in the log base 10, so in that case it will be equal to 2.3 AL by 80 log 10 H1 upon H2. So this way we can find out the coefficient of permeability in the lab. But this value, as I said, it will not be the representative value, because this is normally the disturbed sample. Whatever care we take in taking the sample, it will mostly be the disturbed sample. So in that case, the pore size and the structure arrangement of the particles will change, and because of that the coefficient of permeability will also change. So what we get in the lab and what we get in the field will be different. So to find out the better value of coefficient of permeability, field tests are conducted. So next video I'll do those field tests, that is pumping tests are conducted basically, so which gives us the better value of this coefficient of permeability.